All right, this is the Marc E. Moglen Show, coming back with some more commentary on the commentary. The host, Glenn Beck, chimed in on his astonishment that an quote-unquote AI-generated song went #1 in the country charts. Let's hear a bit of what he has to say about that.
The #1 song on the Billboard country music chart is AI. AI. I have to tell you, some of my favorite music is coming from AI right now. And I don't know how to feel about it. You know, it wasn't too long ago that we thought, oh, well, it's never going to be able to do that. It can't do, art is the music, art is the window to the soul. How is AI? If you look at some of the lyrics of this song, it talks about how he's been dragged through the mud. He's, had to really stand. It doesn't know any of that stuff. None of it is real, and yet it is assembling it in a way that is so appealing. It's #1 on the Billboard country music chart. If that, and this what I wrote.
So, okay, let's take a look at that. So, #1 on the country Billboard music chart. For him, that's a really impressive metric. Well, it just means that the powers that be of the major record labels were able to push the algorithm in such a way and market it in such a way that it got a lot of streams. Like, okay. I mean, Glenn Beck is so astonished that, AI generated it and he says a lot of his favorite music is now AI generated. He doesn't know how to feel about that. Well, what makes you feel something about something else is by considering the meaning of it. And then he goes on to say, well, it makes lyrics that are so soulful. I just don't know how it did that. And so I just don't know how to feel about that. Well, he spends the next 10 minutes of this conversation talking about what it means to be human and how we can make moral decisions and really actually interesting commentary on what it means to be a person. But that's what you have to apply to how you feel about something. If this is a computer-generated or AI-generated thing, you have to think about that. And don't be so surprised that AI was able to do this. Where do you think AI is getting all the data for the voice, for the melody, for the lyrics? It's from humans. It's from human-ingested data. So make me a voice like that. Well, it had to pull a voice like that in order to make it. And many of these are just using sampling technology, so it's just the same stuff that's been around, just recording a voice and playing it back. Essentially, with some variation. Right, oh my gosh, and the words it said were so touching. Oh my gosh, yes, the #1 song. So amazing words. I've lost my friends, made a few new foes, but that's just life, that's how it goes. Oh my gosh, this is Shakespeare. I'm just picking out random words from the #1 country music song about, this is just so touching. The road's been rough, but I learned to trade. It's sweat, sold, and dues I paid. Doesn't really make grammatical sense, but man, it rhymes at the end and it just feels so good. You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song. I was born this way, been loud too long. Oh man, this is I'm getting emotional. I'm getting emotional reading this #1 song. And look how it ends again with the kicking rocks. You can kick rocks, you can kick rocks. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. I mean, it's like he's really been through hard times. This LLM generated lyrics. Got mud on my jeans. Oh, we know how that feels. Mud on the jeans, still ready to go. Every scar is a story. I'm sorry, I've tried not to laugh. Been through hell, but I'm still alive. They say slow down, boy, don't go too fast, but I ain't never been one to live in the past. I keep moving forward. One last one. I keep moving forward, never looking back, with a worn out hat and a 6-string strap. I I've never heard of a guitar called a 6-string strap. I think he's saying he plays guitar, this LLM generated lyric, but as we know, LLMs hallucinate, they make mistakes. I've never heard a reference like that. I have a worn out hat and a 6-string strap? Sounds a little strange. Okay, you got a strap made of 6 strings? I think it's some kind of reference to a guitar. Well, maybe that's the artful part. That's the great artistry, the touching part. I just don't know why people are so... I guess they're surprised because they're just told these things. It's AI. Here's a piece of music you can hear. And then they go, oh my gosh, this music was made by AI. How amazing. In much the same way that we're naturally surprised in some deep, visceral way when we see a great musician. We say, wow, what they're able to do. They're able to create this mystical set of tools, use these mystical tools, and create these incredible sounds and create music. That's what actually draws a lot of us into music in the first place. We're amazed at how powerful it is. And so people say, oh, AI and music, and oh my gosh. But if they just stop to think about it for a minute, first of all, these lyrics are not in the least bit impressive. Super cliche, super walk my walk, talk. The rhymes, song, long, eyes, rise, talk, walk again. Foes, goes, crowd, proud, way, say, trade, and paid. This is the rhyme scheme. There's nothing impressive about this. What they say, it's like nothing so deep and touching. Oh, but the algorithm pushed it to number 1. It must be incredible. That's not evidence that it's incredible. It sounds so good. You just don't listen to the other stuff that sounds good because this algorithm is pushing this to you and people are saying, oh, it's AI. Isn't that amazing? So we're going to keep seeing these political commentators and just general commentators and just towing the line and cheerleading. Wow, how amazing it is that AI is creating music without stopping to think for a second. It's actually not that impressive a technology. That it's just taking human IP and remashing it into something else. That, yeah, it'll have its hype cycle and all that, but then we're eventually going to realize that music is sacred. Music is based on a real human connection. And what's going to be interesting is humans connecting with people through music. H to H, humans with other humans, connecting with sound, connecting with music. And I just think this is going to blow over, or if people continue to get astonished by the fact that you can whip up some lyrics in a song on AI, like, okay, there will be a market for it. And the rest of us musicians actually trying to make music will have to go elsewhere. And we'll have to kind of smirk and laugh that people are still listening to that and the algorithm's still pushing that. But we all know the algorithm's being played like a marionette. So it's like, okay, so you push that song or you push those. Oh my gosh, all the top 10 are AI now. I don't think any musician I know is going to be surprised about that. If and when that happens. And we're just going to keep doing our thing and creating our artistry as we see best to create our artistry. And so, okay. We're going to keep seeing this, and I think eventually people will come around and realize what music is and that it's a sacred, special craft. And anyone pushing an AI button just to create a whole song, like, you're going to do it. They're going to do it as long as the data is there, which it will be, one way or another. But for most musicians, that's like, just let them have their fun and keep doing your music. And you'll form the audience that needs to form around it. All right, this is the Marc E. Moglen Show, signing off.